Hi everybody, welcome back. Thank you for your support and loyalty. I've been wondering, how big is the actual rift in the royal family really? And what made me think about this is the fact that William and Catherine were not at Charles's premiere at Windsor Castle. A rather strange one that, but then I guess that Charles and Camilla also do not attend William's Earthshot Awards. They do not attend Catherine's Christmas concert. I guess they each have their own thing. They each stick to their own lane, so to speak. It was also midweek, so the kids have school the next day, meaning that Catherine may have preferred to stay home and William did not feel like going alone. Or they just did not want to go. However, what no one is talking about is the fact that for the umpteenth time, Sophie attended alone. Where was Edward? She also attended the Together at Christmas concert alone, although it must be said that Edward, as far as I can see, has never attended the Christmas concert before. But I saw Sophie's face on a few occasions, and she's not the same lovable, funny person among the family anymore. You may also have noticed that Princess Anne did not attend the premiere. Sturdy, dependable Anne. I think that the entire Andrew debacle has caused even more discord among a family already divided on numerous issues. I should also mention that although it could mean something, it could also mean nothing, but I'm hearing from more and more people that Camilla's attitude towards the family is at times absolutely insufferable. I was told that the first 2 years after the coronation were indeed very difficult for Camilla, and a difficult situation got worse when Charles was diagnosed with cancer. I also heard from reliable people that Charles's temper tantrums got worse for a while, and that at some point it was downright bizarre, not to talk about certain letters to Angela Rayner sealed in 3 envelopes. Want to know why she was fired or then made to resign? Because she bought a property in a disabled son's name and underpaid on stamp duty or whatever the case may be? Think again. She said the underpayment on stamp duty was indeed a mistake. She did not get a professional to work out the amount for her, etc., etc. So, I mean, that happens, so she could have paid the difference and moved on. But no, my dears, it was about these little letters, childishly sealed in 3 envelopes. I'm telling you. Notably, after her resignation, Angela went back to her partner, and the relationship between Charles and Camilla actually drastically improved. Anywho, there are also many stories about Camilla inviting her children and grandchildren over when Pa was too tired to see his own children and grandchildren. Allegedly, there was also a fallout between William and Camilla's son years and years ago, and William does not have much time for him, so when he's around, then William prefers to stay away. Well, all of it makes things a lot more complicated, but I'm told that although there's some disagreements about Andrew, there are also some disagreements about Harry and Meghan, which we obviously know. But allegedly, there are also members of the family who would rather not spend time in Camilla's company or having to bow to her. They would rather stay at home. I heard another piece of really, really interesting gossip, which I found really, really hard to believe until I heard it from a second person. And then I saw, let's say, the tail end of it in a mainstream newspaper. I was told that Camilla made a complete and 360. Everyone was talking about how Camilla was keeping an eye out for Charles, how she would not leave the room when Harry came around, and all kinds of fanciful rubbish. Well, not exactly rubbish, because for a long time after Mixed and with the Harkles Oprah interview, etc., Camilla was indeed 100% anti-Harry and Meghan. Harry was not to be trusted, according to her, and Meghan was just horrible, a real female dog, if you know what I mean. If Camilla could have had her way, Harry and Meghan would go away and never come back. But in the last few months, she has made a complete turnaround and is fully backing Charles and getting Harry back, to the point where she's prepared to make peace with Meghan as well. Now, I don't know, do you guys believe that? And why would she do that? Do you think it could have anything to do with her falling out with William and Catherine? Or do you think she's just being supportive of her ailing husband? There is some very strange dynamics going on behind the scenes. Princess Anne will never speak out and criticize her brother due to her loyalty to the crown, but of course there are other people talking, and although Anne was very positive about her brother's reign, it appears that the positivity has slowly eroded away. Why exactly? I have no idea. Allegedly, some of it has to do with Andrew, but what else? We may never know. We also know that there are conflicting stories about Harry and Meghan returning to the United Kingdom, and I guess the will they, won't they will carry on until July. However, in the meantime, there is indeed talk about an IRS investigation into Archwell Foundation, which, although there's nothing official about it, I think is likely true, because the new Archwell Philanthropies is basically under administration or then being run by another entity. And as yet, we don't even know who that is yet. Well, we know what a control freak Meghan is, so why would she relinquish control over her charity? I think she had no choice, and that is why. Then I also think Harry had finally come to the conclusion that the oddity of having a British prince in America has now also worn off. But what he apparently still does not understand is that when he earned as a prince, just for showing up at a few events per year, etc., and the benefits he had as a royal and full-time prince can and will never be replicated in the real world, especially now that the novelty has worn off. So taking all of this into consideration, it is of course very possible that they may want to flee to the United Kingdom. I think anything from Adelaide Cottage to Royal Lodge will be better than what may be awaiting them now. Meghan is utterly delusional and should be booked into an asylum if she thinks she can earn enough to even pay their mortgage with her jam. Even if you put 100% profit on your jam, for instance, how many will you have to sell in order to pay say 3 million annually in security cost and about 300,000 in mortgage per year. Well, if she made, say, $10 clean profit on each bottle of jam, then she would have to sell at least 350,000 bottles of jam just to pay those two items. And we know old Migsy likes designer clothing and private jets. We know she has barely any high-end Archwell staff left. But what about cleaners, a housekeeper, gardener, and nanny? What about cell phones and vehicles and utilities, food and clothing? Now, I personally do not think that Meghan wants to go back to England, but if she sticks with Harry, she may have to. So maybe she is already plotting and scheming, working on a plan to get Pa Charlie to love her again and to leave her some treasures in his will. Maybe she's scheming to get as much out of the deal so she can leave again once her pockets are properly lined. I mean, who knows what's going on in that head of hers? My friends in the know are very quiet lately, but one did DM me a picture with a headline reading, Kate Middleton to lead peace talks with Prince Harry and Meghan on King's orders. Now, personally, I think this is either Meghan manifesting again or it came from Buckingham Palace's media centre, otherwise known as Torben Andre. And of course, I think either way it is BS, because Catherine was indeed very hurt by the racism and other allegations. And I do not think Catherine will go against William's wishes, even if there really was such an order from Charles. I've been a little lethargic these past, say, 2 weeks, but I'm working on some stuff with regards to Harry and Meghan's true intentions and their social standing in the United States, shall we say. I also found something to do with Archie, starting with someone telling me that Meghan uses chemical straightener and a color rinse on Archie's hair. So in the next video, we'll take it from there. Until then, please take good care of yourselves and stay safe. Bye.